Hello and welcome to PlayStation Racer. My name is Mitchell Morgan and we have reached the end of the initial set of menu books. Number 39, this is race 5 of 5 of the World GT Series Championship. We are at the Nürburgring for not one, but 2 laps. We need to try and get first for 12 points here to try and keep our lead that we managed to get at the last race. And I don't believe it. We're not only running one of the hardest tracks in the game, it's in the dark. I'm hoping that this is early morning and it gets lighter, because this is going to be super hard hitting the Nordschleife in the dark. Certainly not something that I have done previously, or if I have done it previously, not very often. I mean, I would have done it previously in my other profile when I did this menu book. I don't even remember it. So we are starting off on the Grand Prix circuit and we're starting 20th. We need to get 3rd or higher, but as I said, we really need to get a win here. So getting through the traffic on the Grand Prix section of this race is all important. The more cars we can get through here, the easier it will be when we get to the Nordschleife with the tight, twisty sections. That Corvette really spitting flames out the side of it as it was going through those corners. So just trying to make the most of this race. Now I am narrating this after the race because I'm running on the hard AI settings, and this is going to be a hard enough challenge as it is without setting that hard AI settings. So I am concentrating 110% on this race and narrating it afterwards. So we are up to 17th place as we are coming up towards the end of the GP section. That's the Grand Prix circuit. We come onto the Nordschleife section, trying to get past that Ferrari before we get to this little tricky tight section. The door is still open there. We've got the inside line, managed to brake slightly later and hold it, watching the radar to make sure that we have got past, and we need to get on to the next car as quickly as we can, to just feeding our way through these corners. 3rd gear to keep balance on the car. Should be able to get down the inside of this one. So overtaking some of these initial cars quite nicely, but a quick look at the timings on the top left hand side of the screen and you'll see that we are a massive 30 seconds behind the car out front. There is a long way to go in this race, an awful long way to go, but we are really going to have to be on it from the get-go to get through. It looks like dawn is over those hills, over those trees. Desperately hoping that dawn comes quickly. The lights on this car are pretty good, so it's not too bad, but yes, the sky is definitely getting lighter all the time. That's good news. In the meantime, back to the racing. We've really got to push through this section. I'm not using pace notes. Whoa, big sparks from that car as it bottomed out. Flame from the Nismo in front as it changes down through the gears, burning up the unspent fuel. Come up to one side of the Nismo, just pushing it ever slightly wide. As I've said before, I'm probably going to be using some tactics of just a little bit of bumper rubbing, door rubbing, just to open doors to be able to get through this traffic, because if we don't get through this traffic quickly, we are not going to reach the leaders in time, and we won't get that all-important win that we so desperately need. Down the inside of Ford GT, that was a nice move, cleanly done. Quick check of the radar to make sure we're past before we move over. Now back to concentrating on the track and trying to keep it clean, keep it out of the barriers. Very, very rarely do I do the Nordschleife without collecting one of the barriers at some point. Today is the one day that we really need to try and keep it out of the barriers for, I will remind you, 2 full laps of this amazing, iconic and super challenging track. Oh, that's a barrier collection. That's one. It had to happen. We had a good run till then. Just started to push it just a little bit quicker. As always, it's easier to chase than it is to be chased, and that is especially true around here. But when you start to see the cars just there, just in front of you, it is so easy to let your attention stray from the track to the cars that you are chasing, and at that point it's very easy to overdrive yourself, carry too much speed into a corner, and then you're collecting the barrier. So my take on the Nordschleife is it's got to be quick, it's got to be very quick, but also just respect the track. Try and watch for all of the braking points, all of the corners, and just try and keep it out of the barrier. So on the back of this Porsche, which we overtook quite quickly last time, we've done him quite nicely there. Can you get around the outside of the AMG? No, that door is going to close. Coming up towards the carousel here, the AMG is going to get carousel. We're just going to have to run around the top. No benefit from the carousel. It's going to push us out a little bit wide, and we've lost some distance to the AMG. We would have been better off just sitting behind the AMG and following through the carousel, but caught up big time under braking. Nice move around the outside there, and again keeping it on the track just about. That was probably about as quick as you're going to be able to do through there. That was nice, felt good. So now we are back to chasing down the next car, which is a massive 6, nearly 7 seconds down the road, but it does mean that we've got clear air through this very twisty, tight, technical and very fast section of the circuit. So this is a good place not to have any cars. It's enabling us to get a bit of a gap to the car behind. It's now 3 seconds behind us. Being careful not to run out too wide on that corner. Very easy to get up onto that concrete and then into the gravel. That can hurt badly, using all of that curb. As you can see, I am really going for it at the moment. This really is all or nothing, because we need to bring this home in first place. I'm going to remind you that we are up against M. Faisal in this championship, and just take a look who is leading this race right now. But also look that we were 30 seconds behind Heisel when we started the race, or the Nordschleife part of the race. It's nice on the carousel, or a little bit twitchy on the way out. That gap is now down to just over 11 seconds. So we are taking cars out, they're taking time out of these cars, but we've got to keep it tidy. If we don't keep it tidy, then we are going to be in trouble. And even now, as we go down this massive long straight, we are taking time out of the car in front. We are taking a small amount of time out of the leader, but it's not enough. We really need to be taking a lot more time out of the leader at this point in the race, and it's not happening. No worries about tyre degradation in this race, no worries about fuel. This is just full on go for it, and that's exactly what we're doing. If you come back out into the start of the Grand Prix track, the BMW in front of us trying to pick up a slipstream to try and get on the back of the car before the corner, but then we've got to watch our braking point, braking at the 100 metre board, going for the inside, just take a little bit of that curb. Oh, it's unsettled the car ever so slightly, which whipped us around a little bit, just trying to get it rotated, get on the back of the BMW. We've got speed. Can we get down the outside here? Braking into this corner, watching for the cone section, just balancing the brake and the accelerator through there. He's still with us. These AI cars are really fighting back through these corners. It's brilliant. I love it. Absolutely love racing on the hard level. At the moment, I've done most of these menu book videos for people that are starting out with the game, and a lot of people will jump straight to normal. My advice is always to try and get up onto the hard level as soon as you can, because it will prepare you more for when you go online. You still won't be ready online, because online racing is totally different, totally unpredictable, unless of course you get up into the A and the A plus ratings where the races are super professional and very close racing. But when you first get into online racing at the lower levels, it is very, very unpredictable, with people braking late, braking early, turning in, all sorts of things that are going on. So getting onto the hard level will make you work harder at these tracks. It will make you learn them faster, because you're looking for every single opportunity. It will help you with your racecraft trying to get through. And this is the time to do it, because if you start with your racecraft online and you start bumping and rubbing people, they are going to get annoyed and they are going to retaliate. Whereas with the AI, it's not going to retaliate if you do bang bumpers or rub doors. You can beat yourself up over it, you can tell yourself off and learn from it, is what the idea is. That was really nice through there. So yeah, my advice is just work through these menu books. It helps you to learn the tracks, but do it on hard. Yes, I've done most of these on normal, but step up to hard. It's so much better. And I remember doing this race. It was gorgeous. I loved it. It was exciting. Just chasing down these couple of cars here. It's quite a chain of cars, and it's like, where am I going to do the overtake? Where am I quicker? How can I get through? And the beautiful things, right on the bumper of that Supra there, just giving her a nudge forwards to try and push onto these cars in front, almost bump drafting. Get a little nudge through there, getting it slowed down as fast as we can for the Mazda. Then we're coming inside of this BRZ. He's gone a little bit wide. Arguably there was a little bit of a rub there on my part, and managed to get through. This is really exciting when you are doing these races and you're in this situation. And the thing about the Nordschleife, especially at this point, is you can't sit behind a car. We all got that really, really, really wrong, trying not to lose too much time, but that was terrible. That's one of my first big mistakes through there. It's cost us a little bit, but we've got away with it. And yeah, just lost my train of thought with how exciting that little section was through there. Oh yeah, when with the Nordschleife, you can't sit behind a car and think, okay, I'm faster there and you're slower there, that's why I'm going to do my overtake. Because at this point, this is the final lap. This is the last time we're going to be doing these corners. So it really is watching the cars, watching your turning points, watching your acceleration, watching your braking, watching absolutely everything, and then looking for those overtake opportunities as they come. As you can see here, this is place 2 and 1, and yeah, we've got quite a fair way to go, so we're well placed for a win here. But we've got to make sure that we don't spin. We've got to make sure that we can make these overtakes clean and then try and get away. And at the moment, I'm really struggling to get past these two cars. So a quick dive up the inside puts us on the back of the Honda. That was a really, really much needed move. Now we need to stay with the Honda, and we really need to try and get ahead of the Honda and then try and make a bit of a gap. So that was a nice move down the inside. He was still there holding on for a moment. He did get the move done. Now we're in the situation of, can we just bring this thing home without doing what I normally do? Normally when I'm chasing cars, I am cleaner than when I am out front. I prefer to chase than be chased. I'm very minded at this point. I remembered this section because it's super fast. I'm very minded that that car behind me is slipstream. He's right there, and at any moment, if I put a wheel wrong, he is going to come by. We cannot afford any mistakes, and this is the Nordschleife, and it's just a track where you know you're going to make a mistake. This is just This is just like watching a kettle boil now. When is it going to boil? When am I going to boil over? When is the talent going to run out? Nicely through the carousel there. When is the talent going to run out and I'm going to make a mistake which is going to allow that Honda back through, and then we've got it all to do again. So really pushing on here whilst also trying to defend. Although the car is around about half a second behind, that is nothing at all. It's going to get slipstream down the fast straight. So at the moment I'm thinking about how I can break that opportunity that he will have to get slipstream down the long straight. So at the moment I really want to be sort of a couple of seconds ahead, but it's not happening. I am making a little bit of a gap, but it's still only up to 0.7 seconds. I remember that I was absolutely going for it through here, really pushing as much as I can, while also desperately trying hard not to spin it, not to throw it off the track. Quite nice lines, looks quite neat and tidy at the moment. Love this section through here, really need to get it slowed down for this corner just as you come off the bump. And that's the first mistake for a while, and we've gone round and we've collected the Mazda at the same time. And another car, I think that was super untidy. That was the mistake that I knew was coming. And we're down into 5th place at a late point in this race. That, my friends, is a complete, I want to swear, but I can't. It's a complete mess up. That is a complete disaster. Up into 4th. We've got that, we've got the Honda there, just using the carousel to get that turned in. 2nd place is in front of us. The only good thing is Heisel is back down in 6th place at the moment. But we really need to get on with this now. We will get slipstream down this long straight, so we should be able to get past this car fairly quickly. But the 1st place car is a mile away. There's a speck in the distance. Nearly 6 seconds ahead, and there will be no time at the bottom here to make up this deficit. We're making no time at all on the car in front. Still 5 seconds, just under 5 seconds now. Mighty through here. This is all or nothing. Getting it slowed down. Get it over this curb. Don't put it in the barrier. Come on, Mitchell. And I think the line is there. Yeah, line is there. 2nd place. That spin cost us badly. We threw that one away to bring the car home in 2nd. Is that enough to keep us at the top of the board? It is. It is. Heisel had a mare of a race. Wow. What a race. I thoroughly enjoyed that one. There's the trophy, 250,000 credits. That is the trophy that we wanted. It's absolutely beautiful. We then get to choose from the Porsche, the Pagani, or the Lamborghini. I really don't mind too much which I get. I get the Porsche Carrera GT 04. That's in the garage. That is the prize for completing the World GT Series 5 superb races, and we level up our menu book for the cars as well. I remember being completely drained at this point. Not going to worry too much about the replay because that would be a very long replay for that race, but just enjoyed just a few moments of this one. Really enjoyed this race, no end. This was where we were having the battle with the BMW. Very close racing. You can see how that BMW is fighting back all the time. Looks like we've got the BMW done now. Love this Toyota Supra. It's been a stunning car for us throughout this race. Really enjoyed it. And this we just skip forward to lap number 5. This was where we got out the front, and then unfortunately it just went a little bit wrong for us. It was our own mistake. We dropped it, collected a car in the spin, put us a bit too far down the order, and that just cost us first place. But thankfully we did manage to get first overall, and that's really what this menu book is all about. So there we are. Those menu books, the first selection of menu books, are now completed, and the game takes us off into a wrap up where Luca congratulates us. We then get congratulations from lots and lots of other people, and it also runs the credits for the game. We do get a 6-star roulette ticket, and then we get the extra menu books that were later released, and we're going to be working on those in the next few videos. So please, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to the channel to support me. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And in the meantime, if you are continuing to follow me along, thank you ever so much for your support. But I will hopefully see you on another video coming very soon, where we'll be looking at the new menu books. For now, take care. Bye-bye.